Hi, I'm Rosie Callahan, and I'd like to share with you our program HypnoSlim and what it's all about and how it might be able to help you in whatever part of your journey that you're on now. So, most of the people who come to HypnoSlim have been feeling trapped in that dieting cycle that they find themselves in, that exhausting cycle of trying all the diets and all the different plans, the quick fixes, maybe the juices, all sorts of stuff that's out there. And they find themselves, they might lose a bit and then end up putting it back on and even gaining more weight at that point and feeling worse than when they had started. So they tell me things like they've no willpower and they've let themselves go, hate what they see in the mirror, and they're just fed up and just that trapped feeling. So it's important to know the truth though about willpower. People say, oh, I've no willpower, but you actually don't need more willpower. That's not the problem. What's really happening is your subconscious mind, and that's the part that's driving your habits and your cravings. It's actually learned to use food to numb some sort of emotional pain, or even just using food when you're feeling stressed, tired, lonely, even overwhelmed. I know myself, even as a parent, how that can happen. But it's really not about the food itself. It's about how you're feeling inside. And that's where HypnoSlim is really different to a lot of things that are out there. So HypnoSlim is a 6-week program where I meet everybody once a week for 90 minutes online through Zoom. So it's a group program, and I'll guide you into hypnosis. And this is basically just a state of deep relaxation. And you can access your subconscious mind when you're in hypnosis. And it's actually open to change at that point. So it's where I suppose we reprogram the habits, the old patterns of overeating or reaching for food when we're stressed. It's where we'll deal with the cravings as well and the beliefs that you have around yourself and food so that you're naturally starting to feel in control around food again. And from the very first class, you'll begin to change how you're feeling. It's about changing your attitude towards food. So when we change how we're feeling inside as well, it makes it easier to make the healthier choices. So, but we have to change that attitude that you have towards food, and that's as early as that very first night. So some people find themselves satisfied with smaller portions right from the start because they actually start to listen to their bodies. They're starting to make the connection of when they feel full. So I'm helping program your mind to only eat when you're hungry and to stop when you've had enough. So that mindless eating tends to disappear from that first night from the vast majority of clients. So some people also say that the bloating and that goes immediately, and clothes start to feel looser, obviously. And the other thing that's really important, as I said there, about you're cutting your portion sizes by reconnecting your brain to the full signal in the body. So it's about making that connection. That's really, really important because I'll be putting things into your mind as well about using a side plate. And you know, your stomach is only the size of your fist. So I'm helping program you to only eat what's on a side plate portion so that you actually feel satisfied. And it's me helping you convince yourself that you're satisfied with whatever's on that plate, on that side plate portion. So that's another thing that we're doing here. The very important one, that one of my favorite parts that we do, is changing how you feel towards the sugary and fatty foods so they actually lose their grip on you, that you don't feel like the takeaway is calling you on a Friday evening, or that the biscuit tin or the cookie jar. It's about switching that off. And I love that part. And I know for myself, it was from that first session that you'll all have on the first night of the 6 weeks that turned me off chocolate. And currently I'm about 8 years into it now, where I've never wanted chocolate again. And that's going from eating 3 or 4 bars a day. So I understand that trap that we can feel in. So it's about almost, I suppose, flicking a switch up there, isn't it? About changing how we feel towards them so we don't want them anymore. So that's what I'm looking for all my clients. But it really isn't just about food. In week 3 or 4, depending how we're going as a group, I'll do a thing which we call anger release and forgiveness as well towards the end of the session. And it gives you this very safe space to offload frustration, stress, resentment, um, irritability, all these negative things that have actually been weighing you down all these years. So when you let that go, you actually start to feel lighter in your body and in your mind. It's one of the most transformative parts of the whole journey. And because hypnotism isn't about punishment or restriction, it's actually about compassion. It's about helping you forgive yourself, to get back on your own team, and to finally feel good enough again. So many of us as busy parents put everyone else first for years and leave ourselves last. And this ends up leading to shame, leads to not feeling good enough, um, lots of frustration, low self-esteem, and even anger as well at yourself. A lot of my clients who come to me at first, there's a lot of anger at themselves because they've let all these bad habits build up over years, and they've ended up putting on so much weight that it's hard to just go on a diet and lose. So that guilt and shame is eating people up inside, and it's damaging your health. It's not just about being slim. This is so much more. It's about feeling good enough inside. That's really, really important. And I want to help rebuild your confidence as well. Many of our HypnoSlim clients that have been through the program have reported lots of other benefits in their lives, things like sleeping better at night. There's less stress, less tension at home. There's lower cholesterol, more energy. And the reduced inflammation is a really, really key one, because when we've got less inflammation in our bodies, we're going to feel less pain, especially for people with arthritis. I've had lots of clients with that as well. So that inflammation, sugar is the key factor in creating the inflammation. And obviously when somebody has an injury, there's going to be inflammation, but the part that we can control is the sugar, that extra sugar we're putting into our bodies. So when we get rid of the cravings, it becomes so much easier. So that's why it has a knock-on effect on so many areas of your life. And aside from just the classes, so the classes happen once a week, you'll also have support in between the sessions as well. So I'll send you audios to listen to that you can just pop in the earphones at night time and listen to them. You might fall asleep to some, which is okay. Now, during the sessions, I like people not to fall asleep. But for those that, we live a busy lives. It's a bit of a dream to think that we all have 30 minutes a day to put aside for audio. So I don't live in this fantasy world either. I know we're busy. So it's important when you come to the sessions that unless you're a very fidgety person, I would say use a chair, an armchair, something that can support you, that you don't need to be balancing. Those twingy chairs, office chairs, I wouldn't recommend unless you can make them really, really still. But the other, lying on a bed at night, I know if I got into bed at 7:30 in the evening, I fall asleep. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you find it hard to relax. So that's completely up to you, whatever works. We don't want to fall asleep in the sessions, but at night time when you listen to the audios, that's totally fine. So one of the audios I give you from the very start is an audio based on positive suggestions. So it's a nice relaxation audio that will program your mind more positively. So it's only going to help when we're feeling more positive. We're more likely to make better choices. So that's one part of it. The other audio that you receive during the program will reinforce all the weight loss suggestions around exercise and drinking more water. So you'll also check in with me each week. It'll be a weight update on, a picture of the scales, and that's only one part of the accountability. Also, the food diary, especially for the first couple of weeks. I want to know what you're eating each day. You don't have to weigh it. You don't have to say 40 grams of something. Keep it simple, very, very simple. Some people will take screenshots and send them all to me then on the day of the class, which is a Wednesday. So I work with whatever works for you. I don't insist on daily updates because that's, to some people, that would be the worst thing ever, that they'd have to update me on a daily basis. But accountability is very, very important, even if it's just on the weekly one, because it's that one-to-one support that you have from me built into the program as well. I don't want to have somebody sitting in my class and me not have a clue how it's going for them. Like, the really, really important update that I like to get is how the habits have changed. So I love getting that on that first week. I haven't even thought of chocolate for the week. don't want anything in the evening time, or I'm drinking 2 liters of water a day. Oh, I can't wait to get out for my walks. I'm loving these kind of things. So those are really important changes, because this is not about going on a diet and see, it's not just about scales. Like, that's one very, very small part of it. That's just for accountability, really. But it's about your mindset. It's the mindset that I'm working with you on in each of the classes. So you'll also get a daily email as well. And it's a very short email. It'll come in early in the morning. And it's just a little nugget, a little thing that I might say in the class. You read the email, it reinforces. So it's another thing to help you get the most out of the program. The most important part of it, really, I might have said that a few times, but the most important part is I will bring 100% of me to your program. So that's 50% of the program, though. The other 50% has to come from you. So it's not a magic wand, but it's important that you're committed and that you want to change. Hypnosis itself is very, very powerful, but this really is a team effort. HypnoSlim is a team effort where you need to be committed and willing to change. And when you are, the results can be absolutely life-changing. Other things clients have said, I mean, you could read the testimonials, go on Google and see them. People say things like, I don't even want chocolate anymore. And I never thought I'd say that. Another person will report saying, I'm calmer, I'm sleeping better, and I feel in control of my food as well. And my favorite one is when clients say to me, I finally feel enough again. And sometimes people may never have felt enough in their whole lives, but they're finally at this stage where they go, I am enough as I am. And that's golden. That to me is a very, very important part of HypnoSlim. Now, some people come into HypnoSlim and they make the changes. A lot of people will make it in that first one. Some people get stronger and stronger. They make it over the 6 weeks. Most people will have significant change from the first week. And that might be the only 6 weeks some people might ever need to have. Now, bearing in mind, some people who are in the program could have a stone to lose. There could be other that have more than 10 stone to lose. So the amount of time that they want to stay connected and in the program is completely on a personal basis. You do your first 6 weeks, and at any time then you can come in and repeat the 6 weeks. Maybe it's, January and September are always those very, very busy months where people are on a fresh buzz, fresh health kick, and they might just want to jump in for 6. And there's a significantly lower rate for that I can share with you after. So it depends on you, how much you need. And also, people like that support as well. And sometimes I get people, when they get to their ideal weight, they might just want to jump in for that 90 minutes of switching off from the world as well. So they use it for calming their mind as well, even though their habits are still good. It's not that, when you see someone coming on for a repeat program, it doesn't necessarily mean that they need, like, that is worn off, or, very often people will come back just for that mental relaxation. So you get what you want out of it, but there is a lot of stuff thrown at you. So if you are in a situation where you're completely done, you're fed up with just eating too much food and feeling guilty and starting again every Monday, if you're tired of putting yourself last as well, and if you want to stop relying on that willpower thing that we know doesn't work anyway, it wears off very quickly. If you finally want to feel in control of your food and get some peace with yourself, the next step is very simple, where just let me know you're interested. I'll send you a very short form, and this is to gather some information on your own habits and health. And it's important that I understand where everybody is at. I'll review it and decide then if HypnoSlim is the right fit for you. And if it is, I'll send you a payment link and you can confirm your place, and then we'll get started. This is your chance, though, to stop battling food and let go of the shame that's attached to it and just finally feel like yourself again. And I'd really love to help you get there. And feel free to look at all the testimonials that are out there as well. And it is important when you work with somebody with your mind, a hypnotherapist or psychologist, whatever route that you take, it's very important that you know that you can trust them as well. And I am a certified hypnotherapist. So if you feel this is a program that you can benefit from, feel free to send a message and we'll take it from there. And if you have any other questions as well, feel free to send them to me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Bye for now.